Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great week. Today we're in the world of Tartosa, building on this 30 by 20 lot, which is perched on top of the cliffs. It kind of overlooks the lighthouse. It's in a really kind of central location. It's actually the perfect place to build Sereno Villa, which is what I'm calling this particular house. It's got a bit of like a classical Italian villa style, but also there's some modern like a modern atrium dining room kind of thing with glass walls. And then we have lots of modern furnishings, but also it's kind of warm, kind of cozy. It's a really nice little house perched atop here. I really love this location for building. I like the blue water. I kind of wish we could actually build on the water in Tartosa. I mean, there is that like one beach island lot, but that's like so tiny and it looks so weird, especially when you try to share it from the gallery. But before we go any further with this build, I do want to quickly mention that the Sims 4 adventure awaits. It's going to be out in a little under a week now. So if you are picking up the new expansion, feel free to use my creator code. This is how you do that on the app. And thank you so much in advance for your support. And yeah, if you do decide to use my code, and thank you so much to EA for sponsoring this portion of the video. So yeah, I also do want to quickly mention that I'm also conducting a giveaway for the Adventure Awaits expansion pack, which you can find a link to in the video description below, as well as a pinned comment. And I'm hosting that giveaway on Instagram this time. So it's actually a little easier to do on Instagram, I think. I don't know. I mean, it definitely gets more exposure on Twitter or X, but like, I don't know. I kind of like doing it on Instagram. I don't know. So here is the glass modern bit. This will become the dining room. I used regular base game windows and a wood tone, but then to get the glass above the doors, I left the glass wallpaper behind it. So it kind of created its own little long window up there. And I think it looks pretty cool. I still wanted to have the frames around the windows. So that's kind of why I did that. I wanted it to kind of tie in more with the house. We used My Wedding Stories windows initially, but I think I come back and I use windows from Lovestruck. I was trying to do an elevated pool here, but my vision here was to have like a little platform that like your Sims would be able to like step into, but then instead of having normal stairs up to the platform, it would have been like platform stairs up to the like platform area, but you can't put platforms next to foundations, and then platforms can't go next to pools, and oh, it's just a mess. So didn't do that. I mean, there are ways around it, but the pool just stays flat, which is fine. It still looks nice in the end once we actually finish up the whole build. The front entrance is off the side there, and there is a staircase down the back, which leads out of the primary bedroom. Speaking of bedrooms, there are 2 beds and 3 bathrooms in this house, as well as a full kitchen and living room. There's no like office or study space, but that's okay. It's just, you're meant to kind of enjoy the surroundings in this particular world. So that is what we're doing. Just changing up the flooring in here. I went for a darker hardwood instead. I thought about doing the tile throughout, but then I thought, let's just keep the tile in the dining room space since that connects to the outside. Then we do a staircase up on the inside to get upstairs. And yeah, I continued with the windows for a little while with the My Wedding Stories, but then yeah, we swapped those out. Doing a second story floor plan. This is kind of where we divvy up the bedroom spaces and the bathroom spaces. So there's the primary bedroom will be on the back of the house, and it'll overlook basically the lighthouse and the water. And then there's a kid's bedroom with its own little bathroom attached to it. And then the primary bedroom also has its own bathroom kind of attached to it as well. And then there's a bathroom off the kitchen. Yeah, this is where we're swapping out the windows. I really like the look of these windows. They're a bit more modern, but they also kind of fit with the theme. Not to say they weren't as good as the My Wedding Stories windows, but I just liked how they looked. And it kind of fit the overall aesthetic of the build and kind of still screams villa a little bit, just in a bit more of a modern way, I guess. So yeah, just bringing the flooring up to the second story and then trying to decide on a railing. I think I go with a Seasons railing instead. I was trying to use some like Love Struck railings and stuff, but then I'm like, nah, we'll just change it out to a Seasons railing. Though I do believe I left the Love Struck railing here by the steps down to the dining room. And there are steps down to the dining room because the house is built on a platform. It's actually not built on a foundation. So most of the house, at least most of the first floor, is on a foundation, just to give some elevation. But it also allows for you to continue the wallpaper down the front without, needing to match up to a foundation or anything like that. I was trying to decide on a chimney out here and I couldn't decide on one. I was like, oh, this looks nice. But then so does this one. And then I'm like, yeah, I think we're going to stick with this one. We're just going to kind of put it off the edge. And then I went back to that one. And then I'm like, no, I like this one better. So we left it off the corner there. There will be a fireplace in the house in the dining room. Originally, I was going to go with these base game countertops in the kitchen. But then I found the Life and Death stove and then the refrigerator. And I was like, okay, these are really nice. And I haven't used this kitchen set enough. And I do know there was a sink with the set. So then I'm like, yep, we're going to use that. And it actually had the perfect shade of countertop stone. It's kind of like a beigey, warm color. And I was like, this is like perfect. I love the wood tone. It's not as dark as the rest of the house's wood tone, but that's okay. We do this shelving unit, which I think is a Love Struck thing, but I sized it down with the bracket keys just by one because it's just ginormous and it looks a little weird. It almost looks like it's too large, like so the objects are kind of blurry, but if you size it down, it kind of looks better, which is strange. I was thinking about doing a small dining table up here, but then I thought, no, the dining room will just go down in the bigger space. And so we'll use this like cart thing that came with the kitchen clutter kit kind of in the middle as like a portable island kind of thing, since I didn't want to do like a fixed island or anything like that, because it would have looked strange having an island with this particular kitchen and just how it's laid out, kind of broken apart, if you know what I mean, like it's kind of separated. So it would have looked odd. We do some herbs and just some general kitchen clutter with the kitchen clutter kit, kind of around here and there, but not enough. Like I didn't go crazy with it. There's no microwave. I think I left a coffee machine, but I am not 100% on that. Maybe I got rid of that because I was going to use the one from the restoration workshop kit that was already fixed up. But then I realized that would have used another pack or kit. And yeah, if you do want to grab this house, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here's the gallery listing. I just called it Sereno Villa. It uses 20 different packs and kits, and it's only 75,274 simoleons. So a little bit more expensive, but still quite nice. I also use the Grange mudroom kit. A lot of different of the objects are kind of scattered around, including these lights I just put in the kitchen, and then these like cabinets along the back wall of what will become the living room. And then we're using the Cozy Kish kit for the living room furniture. And then we do put a small TV in here on a side table, which I was trying to pick out a side table that I liked that kind of had a nice wood tone. So we do end up with this one that has like books in the middle. I think it's a base game one, but I'm not 100% sure. Then I use the candles from the Cozy Kish kit, which is actually quite nice. And then I was going to use these Desert Luxe curtains, but then I'm like, I don't really like these. They kind of block out like the outside and I want to see the outside. So we use Business and Hobbies curtains on some of the windows downstairs in this nice green color, which I think goes well with the wood tones, the creamy colors, kind of everything. And it kind of ties together a little bit of the green that was used on these little shelving areas here in the living room, which can be used as storage. I didn't fill up all of the shelves, so your Sims can put some things in there if they want to make it feel more lived in. We do come back and change out some of the clutter on there later on. And then I found this potted plant, which I wanted to use by the front door. And then this one here, I think is from Seasons. So yeah, I used a bunch of different expansions and packs and Jungle Adventures for the tile floor that you see in the bathrooms and around the exterior of the home. We're now using Sleek Bathroom Kit for the bathrooms, which I absolutely love how this one turned out. I love how this one turned out. Actually, I like all of the bathrooms, but I like this one the most because it has like a window right next to the shower. But then I love the primary bathroom because it's got dual showers. It's got a tub in front of the window. It's got a vanity, a toilet. And I do like the kids' bedroom too. It just has a bathtub, which I think is kind of nice to have, because if you do end up having a baby and you turn the kid's bedroom into like a nursery, which would be super easy to do, you just swap out the bed, then you have the tub right there off of the bedroom to bathe them in. So works perfectly. I did keep with pretty much the same theme and color tones and everything throughout the bathrooms. It's just they all have a slightly different layout. I did put the tub in front of the window here, but just a very simple little third bathroom, but no shower in that one. And then this is the primary bathroom, which I really love that. We do come back and change the wallpaper colors because I realize everything is kind of like a white, creamy color. We do infuse some color between the kids' bedroom and the primary bedroom. I'm using the Sleek Bathroom Kit wall to create like a custom headboard thing here. So yeah, we're just placing a bed, but then I realized I need to fix this wall here. Otherwise Sims won't be able to like navigate around the bed and around the room and get into the bathroom. Using some Business and Hobbies wall lights, which I think are really nice as like bedside lights, kind of like bedside reading lights, and they cast a nice little light down below. And then we're using the Sleek Bathroom Kit like tiny little shelf to make tiny little floating side tables. They're kind of stuck in the wall a little bit because they're actually in that like half wall thing that we made a headboard out of. So they don't fully show, but I think it still looks nice and having them nice and floating and everything. We do an alarm clock and some general clutter. I do come back and add a window above the half wall in the primary bedroom there, which I think I picked a life and death window, but we do change that to a different window when I did landscaping off camera. I think I picked another love struck window or something, which I actually liked a bit more because the life and death one was kind of, it kind of looked a little more like a Halloween-y. It was kind of like scratched wood kind of stuff, and that really wasn't what I wanted. So I found a love struck window that kind of fits the overall style of the build, and you'll see that in the screenshots too. It kind of matches a bit more with the windows a little bit better. Yeah, I was gonna do this seasons window, then I'm like, oh, I found this one, and this was the life and death one, which is still cute. Like, it would still work well for the house, but like, I don't know. I kept looking at it when I was taking screenshots, and I'm like, I think I'm just gonna swap that out with a different window. I don't know, something about it I just didn't like, but I think it could have stayed in a way, but it's okay. Doesn't matter now. It's on the gallery. It's shared with the new window, but yeah. And I love this bedroom. I love having the open doors out onto the balcony. We use the Grange Mudroom kit here in the kids' bedroom to create like a little, like a walk-in, well, not walk-in wardrobe, but just like a wardrobe thing with some shelving units. And I believe that functions as a dresser. So that's a huge bonus. And I love the green color. I kind of went with like a green, blue, yellow color scheme in here. I put a toy box around, like the little, well, it's the raccoon. I was going to say Blarfy, but it's the raccoon from Business Hobbies. So I like that one a little bit more. I mean, Blarfy's, still great. He's like an icon, but, I like using the newer ones when we get them. So, yeah. There goes the raccoon. And I think I like the raccoon because he had some yellow in him. So it kind of kept the theme of the bedroom together. And I just put some clutter on the shelves, put a pair of shoes over here, some books. I was trying to fit some more clutter on the shelves here, but then I'm like, you know what? Let's just get rid of that because the kid's not really a baby. I mean, unless you put a baby in here, but I did put the basket of like baby toys and just toys in general because it looked kind of nice to have that kind of like organized clutter basket moment kind of thing in the kids' bedroom, but kept it nice and put together. And then we do a little area rug underneath, which I believe that rug came from the Cozy Kish kit. And now we are changing the colors. So I went for a more yellow color on the primary bedroom, and then I went for like a gray color instead of like a cream. They're still like lighter colors, but the primary bedroom colors, yellow is kind of more of like a goldish color. It's actually really nice. And I think it just helps keep the theme quite well. We do a burglar alarm and a thermostat because I use seasons already. So I figure I might as well throw in the thermostat. And then we're just trying to find a painting for this particular wall here in the kitchen. But then I moved the one over that was by the fridge because you really wouldn't see that. And then this is where I put the coffee pot in. But then I'm like, wait, I would use another kit. And this would be the only item from the kit. that I would use. So I was like, I don't want to do that. We do put a dishwasher in the corner there next to the sink. And then I use Enchanted by Nature, these new object pots that your Sims actually have to take care of. You put your own plants in them and they have like customizable pots and stuff. I put a couple of those out on the like patio area, and then we do one in the dining room space as well, doing some exterior lights. And I was trying to find a light to go over the dining room. I was thinking about the chandelier. I was like, this is kind of pretty. But then I was going to use the Life and Death one, but then I think I change it again to something else. I found something different, so we do change that out as well. I also get rid of the fireplace on the exterior because I just decided against having that, and I put a bar instead, a bar and a seating area instead of a fireplace and a couch. But I also get rid of this awning thing because I just didn't like how it kind of hung off the house. It did create a nice like shadow under the chairs and stuff there, like the lounger chairs, but yeah, just wasn't feeling it. So we didn't use it. But yeah, we are almost into the screenshots. I'm just kind of finishing up some exterior details, and then I did again landscape off camera, so we'll just kind of jump into the finished build, which I really like how it turned out, especially in the area around the front door. There's like a nice tree which came with the world itself, Tartosa, and then I kind of like painted the landscaping with stone, and we do some flowering bushes that are kind of in front of the lot and kind of around the lot that kind of neighbor this lot to tie it in nice and better. But yeah, we also get rid of all of the edging here, and I do stone. So there is the finished Sereno Villa. I really love how this turned out. It's so pretty up here. I love this house so much. I've really wanted to build something like this for quite a while, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I really am proud of how it turned out. So I hope you are too. I hope you enjoy it. Again, it is available on the gallery. It's just called Sereno Villa, and my EA ID is just Simified. So you can find that and all of my other creations. But yeah, this is the interior by the entryway. Then we move around. This is the hallway back to the kitchen and the dining room. And then we have the tiny little living room with storage. And then we flip around this way, and you have another little seating area over there. And then we go back towards the kitchen. And yeah, between the like walkway like areas, there are like beams. So that's also a nice little accent detail that you can kind of see up there between like the different rooms. You can see the beams on the ceiling. And then this is the dining room, which has a great view of the pool waterfall. And then of course there's a fireplace in here to make it extra cozy when your Sims are having meals if they, want to. And this is the bathroom off the kitchen, which that's like one of my favorites. I think I just like that window next to the shower for some reason because it just looks out over the blue water. This is the kids' bedroom. And then we move into the kids' bathroom real quick, and then the primary bathroom and the primary bedroom. But yeah, don't forget to enter the Adventure Awaits giveaway. We are less than a week away for the new expansion, so we're going to switch over and do some builds with the new expansion. So stay tuned to that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we're going to do some Adventure Awaits stuff. Going to check out the pack and do some building with some campsites and things like that. Check out the new venues. But that's all I had for this video. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with another build.